Takže tady slušný kanál, momentálně natáčíme rozhovor s kapelou Five Finger Death Punch. So, what do you argue about the most in a band?
What we argue about? Actually, we stopped arguing. About music, we never argue, you know, like there's not, you know, not much of that. Usually our singer misses his airplanes every time, you know, we book him the plane and he misses it, and so we argue about that, like, come on, man, it's like more like a reprimandation, like, you really, like, you miss every plane, but, you know, we don't, I think that's why the band developed really fast, because, you know, we've been all in bands that had some level of success, so we learned what not to do. And so all the arguments stays outside. That's why we can progress faster. We don't necessarily argue.
And you've got your own plane, or you're?
No, I mean, my personal life, I fly low, you know, single engine planes and whatnot. But as for the band, you know, we usually fly commercial, or some places we charter a plane. So it doesn't make sense to buy a big plane. We have a big crew, so we would have to have a big plane, you know. Yeah. But sometimes we charter one, like we rent one, because there are some shows that simply the schedule doesn't allow us to fly commercially, and then we charter a plane, and then we just, you know.
Do you want to have your own plane, like Iron Maiden, or?
Yeah, of course. I mean, who doesn't? You know, I want to have a whole fleet. I want my own, aircraft carrier ship. You know.
Yeah, so you're kind of materialist.
Well, you know, I think everybody is materialist, and usually people who claim that they are not because they don't have anything. You know what I mean? But so it's easy from talking from there. But look, materialism is sort of a, if you have an understanding how the world works, it will manifest that you will be successful in some way, you know? So basically, I think, there are some patterns to everything. You know, there are universal patterns that just simply how energy flow, how life is, constructed, how it works. And if you understand these patterns, you can basically do anything in life and you're going to be pretty good at it. You know, it's the basic principles. And it will manifest if you choose to live that life. You know, we live in a modern society. I could live on the top of the hill, then I don't need, material, possessions. But if you live in modern society, live in a city, then, your know-how, your understanding of life and these principles will lead to a material manifestation of those things. So you end up having things, and, having things is a good thing, Don't get attached to them. As long as the things you have don't own you, you own the things you have, then you're good. In the second day, the things you own control your life, that's when you have problems.
It reminds me a bit of Buddhism or something like this. So do you believe in, Eastern philosophy, or you're Christian or something like that, about faith?
Well, probably there is not much book left in Eastern philosophy I didn't read, and I lived with some monks for a while. I went around the world and studied with various, monks. But in the same time, I studied Eastern philosophy. I also studied Mesoamerican, philosophy. The Toltecs were the predecessors of Incas, so that region was very enlightened at one point, And their philosophy is really interesting. So I'm interested in philosophy, and when I'm talking about faith, well, it's people usually connect faith to religion. Religion is something that is constructed and have rules, and you know what I mean. And I'm not religious in that sense, but definitely I seek, I want to know how things work, and there are patterns, there are certain philosophies and certain ideas that are proven to be true, And I would say it's a path, like we all here, and all of a sudden you have this self-awareness, like, wow, I'm here. What am I doing here? What is this whole thing? And it's your job to, during your lifetime, to explore and figure that out. Why are you here? What is your purpose? Why? And I think it's everybody who's have any kind of consciousness has these questions. And I think it's important that, you do your duty, so to speak, as in, if you go through life, you have to take care of yourself. Obviously, you have to stay healthy. You have to, if you have a family, you have to take care of your family. And then when you asked about material, things, you know. You build your career, your life, you have a house, you have things you have to take care of. But while you're doing that, you have to also understand what it is and why you're doing that. You know, there has to be a conscious path. Where are you going? What is this? What is this life? You know, I think it's everybody's the most ancient question, like who we are and why are we here. You know, so of course I'm on the path of trying to figure that out, but I didn't hang my hat on a religion or a path. You know, so there are some ideas in every faith and religion, or again, I just call them paths. You know, I don't believe in you know, deities and different like objectified, you know, yeah, so that's not my thing, but definitely philosophy and, you know, that's... Hey guys, this is Zoltan from Five Finger Death Punch and you're watching Slušný kanál.